All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the opening bell with myself, Tshepo and Ashley, and this is brought to you by TD Markets and TD Markets Academy every Mondays to Fridays at 9, streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to a brand new week. Hope everyone had a good and rested weekend and you are ready for the markets this week. All right, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump straight into it. We are looking at gold and we are looking at oil. We spoke about gold and oil the previous week on Tuesday, and we spoke about how the Venezuela crisis would likely impact oil. And we also looked at gold and how far it could go. All right, so we're going to start there. We're going to start with gold. All right, so gold was a winner during the NFP last week, right? When the NFP report came out last week, gold was a winner. It went up. We had the NFP session on Friday. Tomorrow, we've got the CPI session. So do join us tomorrow at 3 p.m. for our US CPI live session. All right. So gold, there we go. We spoke about gold breaching the all-time high, and it went and tapped $4,600. And this is where it is at the moment. All right. A very solid move towards the upside. So now we are looking at 4,650 as the next possible target on gold. So all we're looking for here is a correction that will give us a continuation to that 4650. That is the level we're keeping an eye on. All right. This is just a round number. It could go to any level, but we are using the support round numbers or the resistance round numbers there. So we're anticipating it to reach that zone. All right. So we remain bullish. We are not interested in selling gold, even if it goes down like it did here. We're not interested because the potential is towards the upside, right? The long-term potential is towards the upside. So a simple one on gold, all right? Just looking for a correction and a continuation towards the upside. That's it, all right? Now, if you look at oil, the last time we spoke, we said that oil is going to go back to that level 58.7. That is US oil. UK oil, we said, is going to push back to 62.1, right? Those were the targets we spoke about the last time. So if I can just give you guys a bit of an update on what's happening with the Venezuela crisis, right? So the recent developments in Venezuela has plunged its economy, right, into uncertainty as the US has imposed a strict oil blockade. It has seized sanctioned tankers, and it has stated that it will control the Venezuelan oil sales indefinitely. Now, Cuba comes into the picture now. So Venezuela has had a long, Venezuela has supplied Cuba with oil, right, for a long time in exchange of services like medical and security personnel. We know Cuba when it comes to medical and all of that, right? So after the president was arrested, all right, around 32 Cuban or 35, I'm not really sure, around 35, 30 Cuban military were killed trying to protect the Venezuelan president. I forgot the surname, Maduro, something like that, right? Maduro, trying to protect Maduro during the raid. And that prompted 2 days of national mourning, right? That is basically in Cuba. So Cuba now is in the picture, right? And so the president, Trump, has repeatedly warned Cuba that it is ready to fall, right, without Venezuela oil income. So on the 11th of January, that's what basically, which was yesterday, right? That's basically the update we have at the moment. So Cuba is now in the picture, trying to obviously protect Venezuela and its president and all of that. So we are keeping a close eye on how that will develop. But now, when it comes to oil, the oil is benefiting from all of this, right? Prices is going up from all of this. And looking ahead now, we are looking at Brent crude oil going to $63 per barrel, right? That's Brent crude oil, $63 per barrel, or even 64, right? Let me just push it up around, let's say 64. And then US oil, WTI, at least 60, and then we'll see from there. right? So oil, there's a lot of demand on oil at the moment, right? So they are bullish, upward pressure, as well as silver and gold. We'll look at silver maybe tomorrow, right? So yeah, so that's what's happening, guys. A lot of opportunities, all towards the upside, and gold also towards the upside. So that's what's happening fundamentally and technically on these assets. All right. So guys, let's see what's going to happen this week. Lots of opportunities. We've got the CPI report tomorrow. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that. We're going to have a session again on that. All right. And yeah, for this morning, that's it. We've covered what we needed to cover. Keep an eye on these setups and let's see what is going to happen throughout the week. All right. That's it, guys, from myself. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck. We'll meet again tomorrow.